Hey, and welcome to Dr. G Speaks. I am Dr. Kristen Guillory, and I am so very excited to help you experience a life of freedom, faith, and fun you may not even realize is possible. Listen, I know you feel held back, I know you feel stuck, and I know you are hiding. As a coach and the author of Look, Stop Hiding, How to Find Your Voice and Never Dim Your Light Again, you will get to listen to some amazing stories, receive some homework, that's the professor in me, and get some tools to help you live the life you deserve. It's time to quiet the noise and walk in the fullness of who God created you to be. It's time to stop hiding and start thriving. Together, we'll uncover your potential and ignite your journey to a fulfilling life, a life of freedom. Okay, y'all. So I have created an unexpected and unintentional game called They Slid in My DMs. Did I respond or nah? Okay, so I generally don't get a lot of DMs, maybe from time to time. I have experienced more visibility on Instagram and TikTok due to that, along with different particular posts and visuals that are connected to it. I have gotten a lot of DMs over the last month and a half. And I read them to some of my clients. So we were ending a study hall session and I said, hey, y'all, I've gotten some DMs. Let me read some of these. And I was like, tell me, do you think I responded? So I just started reading them and they were like, you did or you didn't. Or we know you didn't respond to that. And my sister said, you really should do something with this. Like, you really should post something or share, because some people, some women may not even know there's an option not to respond. Some people may not even realize that there's choice. I read some of the DMs to some men who participated in one of my virtual events. And one of the gentlemen, about a week later, he said that he engaged on a post on TikTok or Instagram where he commented something very thoughtful. And he noticed something that he would not have noticed until he heard from me about my responses. And I will tell you what he noticed. So I'm going to read some DMs that I have received over the last month and a half. And I will tell you if I responded or not. First DM, very beautiful lady. What do y'all think? Did I respond? The answer is no. I do not respond specifically when it's someone I don't know, when all you address is what I look like. When I know one of the visuals you saw of me was connected to something really thoughtful. Listen, it does not mean that I do not appreciate being called beautiful and pretty and gorgeous and offer something else. Do not reduce my humanity to my aesthetics. Next message. Hello. Did I respond, y'all? Absolutely not. First of all, I need complete sentences. The next for me is how you introduce yourself is indication for me. For me, I'm not knocking anybody who would respond to these things. Let me be very clear. I'm not knocking anybody, no judgment. If you respond and say thank you, there's nothing wrong with that. This is what I am choosing to do. This is my choice. So hello, no, there's no effort in that for me. If you are introducing yourself to me, there's got to be some effort, or at the minimum, can I get a complete sentence? Okay. Hi, Dr. Kristen. I came across your profile sometime back and I've really been wanting to talk to you. Can I get 10 minutes of your time? Say Wednesday. Wednesday was literally the next day. I did not respond to this because what do you want to talk to me about? Absolutely not. Next message. Did I respond? Hello, sweetheart. I'm single. Y'all already know. Absolutely not. Hey, pretty lady. I'd like to date you. Absolutely not. In my mind, I'm saying, thank you for sharing. Who are you? And y'all, this is me. This is me. I'm not in these dating streets like that. I do not really date. I have not gone on a date since 2013. That is the truth. I have conversations from time to time, but for me, it just feels very unintentional. It feels not thoughtful. And this is me. Another message I got, hello, how are you? I'm not responding to that. Not responding to that, whether it is a potential networking opportunity or someone who wants to date me. Here's the thing. I don't know you to tell you how I am doing. I don't do surface level conversation. So I'm not responding saying, I'm fine. How are you? I'm not doing that. I'm not 19. I'm not 19. Introduce yourself to me. Next message. Good evening. No. Hello there. No. He's a very lucky man. No. Dr. Guillory, your earring game is on point. Did I respond, y'all? I actually did respond because what that displayed was you noticed something. You paid attention to something and you had to have viewed a couple of my posts to tell me that I had an on point earring game. What about this one, y'all? Dr. Kristen, are you single? My name is, and I'm from. You are beautiful, Dr. Kristen. Please give me your phone number. What do y'all think? Did I respond? I did. I said, hello, thank you for introducing yourself and the compliment. I was led to respond to you. I never respond to messages where my looks are the only things mentioned. Regarding giving you my number, absolutely not. The reason I'm responding is because I know you meant no harm with your request, but telling me to give you my number and I know nothing about you is inappropriate. Additionally, your page is private, so if I wanted to learn about you, I couldn't, where mine is public. I hope that my message supports you as you message and desire to get to know women. I hope you have a beautiful week. His response, thank you, doctor. I would open up my account for your comfort. I am still, and he said something here, and I believe there was a little just kind of lost in translation due to a language barrier. And then he did respond, I'm so sorry if it was offensive regarding giving you the compliment. Good morning. I appreciated that response. I have a lot of comments on some of my posts of people saying, you don't have to be single if you don't want to. I'd like to take you on a date. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. And most of those comments I don't even address. Someone said something like, you have a calling and the crown is heavy. I forget that phrase, but you have a crown and Dr. G is no one to be messed with. You have a calling. And I responded to that. Someone else commented and said, isn't it great to be obedient to the Lord? And I responded to that. And what the gentleman who attended my men's event said he thought about was on that post. Remember, I told you at the beginning of this, he commented and the woman responded. And he said, I noticed there were all these men in the comments trying to shoot their shot and complimenting her. And she did not respond to any. And he said, I would have never noticed that until you said what you've experienced. And he was like, I thought about you immediately. And he said, I know men have no idea of this. And he was like, out of all the comments, she responded to me. And I said, listen, because some of us who are women who are not impressed by a mere compliment, but we are impressed by thought and intention, we will respond to that. I don't even give energy to things that are inappropriate unless I am led. For me, intention is very important. If I can tell that this was a lazy message, if I can tell that there was no thought behind it, if I can tell that you just kind of probably sent something as you do everybody, I can feel that energetically. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Some of the men on that call said, Doc, one of the things is men will cast a wide net. They would just cast a wide net knowing someone's going to bite. And unfortunately, some women do respond to these messages. And I said, the thing is, they have that right to. There is no judgment. My reason for responding is not necessarily a better or worse than your reason for responding. I'm just being led to share because I've had different people say, I don't even know if women know that there's an option not to respond. And it's fascinating just hearing your reasons behind it. A woman that I know, she heard me share some of this and she said to me, Dr. G, well, I don't get DMs at all. And was almost feeling bad about that. Like, I don't get DMs at all. And my response to her was, getting DMs or not does not make somebody more or less valuable at all. And I told her, this particular woman, I said, I think that if you were to have gotten DMs, you would have responded to everyone and you would have accepted raggedy because of the place that you're in. I said, I believe God is protecting you and keeping certain voices and energy from you because you are still healing. And she immediately said, you're right. You're right. Getting DMs does not mean anything more than someone who doesn't get them. Because while I have all these DMs, 40 or 50, there were maybe four that I've responded to because there's no intention. There's no thought. There's no complete sentence. You're telling me you want to take me on a date and I don't know you. I'd like to take you out. I don't know you. I did receive a message that said, I love your heart, your content, and your style. Y'all, did I respond? I did. I did respond with thank you. He then responded with two voice notes. The first voice note said, hello, Kristen. My name is, and I'll go on and get the conversation started. I was in this location and blah, blah, blah. And, your content is great. I deleted it. Y'all may be like, what? I'm going to tell you why. Who said I wanted to start a conversation? It was very presumptuous. It was very centering self to think or assume that I want to have a conversation with you. I don't know you. So for me, the proper introduction would be, hello, my name is, I have seen your content. I think it's great. This is my name. This is what I do. If you would be open to a conversation, I would love the chance to get to know you. Are you open to a conversation? The audacity. I'll go on and get the conversation started. Delete. Absolutely not. I remember a couple of years ago, there was something that I was going through and just kind of assessing things, and that this person is interested and they're saying this. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not interested. But I was led to have a conversation. And I had the conversation. I'm like, boom, I'm done. And I remember getting some wise encouragement from two people, a man and a woman who basically said the same thing in different words. I said, great. Okay, I had it. Very good. This is what it is. And she said, okay, good. Now you get to decide what it is you want. You don't want to be the mirror reflection of what the other person wants. You get to decide. My male friend said the same thing. Now you get to decide. Because I was just kind of like, oh, okay, here's what it is. Oh, okay, going with the flow as opposed to, well, wait a minute. Let me fall back and really think about what is it that I want? What is it that I deserve? And that shifts the stuff, y'all. It shifts it when you go into the place of, I don't have to respond just because you sent me a message, right? I don't have to. So be mindful of just responding. You don't have to be reactionary. I also thought about some of these messages and DMs that I got. I thought, okay, if I take time to respond to this, I'm probably going to respond back. Am I in the space to want to start a conversation with someone new? Do I have this capacity? And even if I have the capacity, do I want to give it to this? If responding to this is going to take away from something that I need to do, I don't need to respond. Right. And so I think about that sometimes. And now, if it's just a kind message, I will absolutely respond. Someone sent me a message and said, hi, Dr. Kristen, I don't even know if you're going to get this, but I need to say I just discovered your Instagram page and you're so inspirational. I look forward to following you more and purchasing your books. And I responded and said, thank you so much for sharing. And so for me, it's not just accepting what comes my way. It is God. And y'all, this is the truth. It is God. Should I even respond to these? We're supposed to pray. about everything. So I do pray at times, should I respond? If so, God, show me if I should respond. Y'all, you don't have to be the mere reflection of what somebody else wants. And that ties to the idea of, I've heard so many people say, well, if a man wants you enough, he'll make it happen. If a man wants you enough, he'll make it happen. My question for the last 10 plus years has been, but should he? But should he? Just because you want something, should you? And has God given you the green light? Think about the things you have wanted and the people you have wanted, and you're so glad it didn't happen or it was the wrong time. And then you got connected or the situation or the person at the right time. So just because you want something doesn't mean you should go after it. Are you in the place? Are you healed enough? Do you have the capacity to start a new connection with someone? Even these people sending these DMs with no intention behind it. Do you have the capacity to make space, to create space for a new connection? Or is this just you're bored? Or is this you want a distraction? As I've told people over the years, if you want a distraction, do not play with people's hearts. Go watch a movie. Don't do that. Do you think about the other person in reaching out? Obviously not. Some of them did. Some of them, if you're open and available, if you would, all this, I'd like to take you on a date. Every message is person-centered. Everyone, with the exception of a few. I'd like to take you on a date. Can I take you out? Everything is that self-centeredness. Absolutely not. So y'all be careful of accepting things that you know you're not in alignment with, things that you know you're not supposed to accept. Okay. And I have saved the final, most ridiculous DM for the last. Okay. So y'all, you get to decide, even in terms of people approaching you, or you approaching people, or you sending DMs, or you accepting DMs, is God in the midst of that? Is God even in the midst of that? God, did you lead me to send this person this DM? God, did you lead me to respond to this DM? Just because you want to, just because they are beautiful to you, did God clear you to do so? And just because I'm on my soapbox, I got to say this real quick. Very often, in particular, women, and in particular, Black women, are given some of the most raggedy scenarios, which are, if you were to meet a man and he's not making a lot of money and he's building this company, he doesn't have a lot of time to connect right now, but it's a guarantee that it's going to blow up and make millions in 2 years. And he has 10 roommates and all that. Would you be willing to wait and date him? Would you be willing? Here's my response to that. Number one, to the man, why would you want to pursue someone in that position? Why would you want to pursue someone when you don't have the time? When you may not even have the finances to hang out? And I don't mean spending a whole bunch of money. I don't even mean that. The finances to hang out the way you'd like, even if you go Dutch, whatever that is. Why would you want to pursue someone when you are in a place where you cannot even give them your best? Why? The second question is, did God clear you to pursue them? Unfortunately, and actually this came up recently, unfortunately, there is selfishness in the pursuit. When with that scenario, don't have a lot of time, you're building and building and building. There's selfishness in that. It's, I want somebody who's willing to stick around to kind of just be a buffer for me, to be somebody that I can lean on. It has nothing to do with the person. Because why would you want to present to someone not your best? Now, I don't mean you're already dating and 6 months in or a year in, they begin to pursue something. I mean, in the very beginning, this is when you're meeting this person. Why would you want to pursue someone when you are not even partially at your best, unless it's connected to being selfish? Let's call it what it is. Unless it's connected to being selfish and about you. I don't understand that. I heard somebody say, why would you want to date someone when you're not good and you're maybe emotionally broken or financially broken or spiritually broken, because you know you don't like what you feel like when you're in that place, which means you're probably not going to give this person even partially what they deserve. So why? So it's not about would the woman wait. My question to the men, Why would you want to? And did God clear you? See, all the final DM. Here we go. Y'all ready? This is a doozy. Good day, Doc. You don't want someone spanking you on your ass as he walks past you making breakfast? Or someone passing you the drying off towel while you're still in the shower? Someone to nurse you back to health if you are not feeling well? Someone to enjoy life with? I did respond, y'all. And one of the guys said, you responded, but you put him in his place. I said, oh my gosh, you know me. Oh my gosh, you know me. Absolutely. Here's what I said. This is absolutely the most inappropriate message I've ever received. It is evident you did not read multiple of my posts to see what type of woman I am, one who loves the Lord, has an anointing, and is rare. And this is what you offer me? For the sake of all women of class, do not ever send something like this again. I would have normally deleted immediately, but the Lord is leading me to share this with you absolutely beyond inappropriate, which I don't believe your intention was to offend, yet you have. His response, no, it was not my intention to offend. I do apologize. I just think that someone as extraordinary as you should not be alone. Amazing people deserve special. Blessings, peace, and love to you. I hope your 2026 brings your heart's desire. I didn't respond. About 30 minutes, 40 minutes later, are we good, Doc? Do you accept my humblest apologies? My response, I appreciate and accept your apologies and how quickly you did so. I appreciate the compliment, but I am not alone. I have a beautiful life, family, friends, and support. Single for me does not mean alone. Also, I don't use the word friend. Friendship and words are important, and I do not consider you a friend. We are not a friend. At the end of one of the messages, he said, my beautiful and amazing friend. Now, some encouragement for you as you introduce yourself to women. Just be who you are. No need for the things like you originally sent. No performance, just you. Have a beautiful 2026. And listen, I do not waste my words and believe that you are open to receiving what I've offered. Here's his response. I don't have any difficulties meeting or dating women, but I want my forever, a woman who will love and cherish me, appreciate all I do. I don't sleep around, but I'm a flirt, but I'm not a fast guy, slow meter. Let me stop y'all. I want my forever, a loving woman who will love me, cherish me, appreciate all I do. Y'all, he is centering himself. Watch that. You want a woman who will do all this for you. What are you wanting to do for her? How are you wanting to glorify the kingdom with her? Watch this, everybody. Yes, I am married, but it is very choppy and rough, and I don't foresee any calm seas ahead. My response, I will end this conversation with you as this is absolutely disrespectful to your wife. As I was blocking him, I could tell he was writing me a note. Absolutely inappropriate. And y'all, I never even figured that any of these DMs are from married men, and I've heard that's the case, which is absolutely inappropriate and disrespectful to your wife and the woman you are messaging. The reason y'all are hearing so much passion in my voice is I'm so sick of raggedy. And it's mainly because of the stories that women share with me, as well as raggedy experiences men have had. I'm not just leaving it to men. Y'all, we have got to begin seeking the Lord and being intentional in our movements, in our words, in our connections. You've got to begin seeing each other as a human and not an aesthetic and not a piece of meat and not any of that, and be mindful. So, what is a step you can take to be mindful in how you see each other and how you connect with each other? And should you pray, and how are you praying for God's guidance in every situation? So y'all, thank you for joining this episode of They Slid in My DMs. Did I respond or nah? Move accordingly with what is in alignment with you. Your affirmation for today. I move in alignment and not as a mirror reflection of what is going on in front of me, only as a mirror reflection of what God tells me to do. I move in alignment and not as a mere reflection of what is going on in front of me, but only the mirror of what God is telling me to do. Thank you so much for listening to the Dr. G Speaks podcast. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Deuces.